Hey everyone, it's been a while since I have carved a rubber stamp, and so I thought I'd go ahead and do that today. I received this sweet little polymer clay penguin from my niece Alyssa. She's 9 years old and she does fantastic things with polymer clay. And look how cute that is. See? So I thought that I would go ahead and carve a penguin rubber stamp for her and give that to her. So what I've done is I drew my penguin, such as it is, and he's kind of a happy penguin with his arms spread wide. So I've drawn that, and I'm going to take a piece of tracing paper and just trace over that. Today I love to use the mastercarve, and you can buy it actually at Hobby Lobby, or there are several places online that you can buy it. But I like the way it carves. It's really easy to use, and on the package it says it cuts like butter, and boy, it's true. So, okay. Now, this is where I get, I don't know about everyone else, but I can get really confused here, because what you have to decide is which part do you want to carve away. So, I know that I want his belly to be white. So, I'm going to put an X there, because that lets me know that once I get this transferred onto my carving material, it's going to be a reverse image. So this X is going to remind me that I want to carve that part out. So what I'm doing is I'm going to turn my traced image onto my master carve, and well, you can use your fingernail. Normally I would have my bone folder here, but of course that's over on the other table. So I'm just going to use my fingernail, and see, it transfers very easily. So there's your image. Now for my carving tools, I like to use these Staedtler carving tools. But you can also, they're a little pricier. They come in a set of 3, and again, you can buy them at Hobby Lobby. If you have your 40% off coupon, that certainly takes a sting out of the price. But you can also, these are the speedball, and these are nice because you can put different carving tips right here in the handles, so that kind of keeps everything together. Okay, so I've got my my image transferred, I've got my tools, and I think that I am going to just make this a little bit more manageable and take my my big blade here and just cut this down a little bit. So one thing that you always want to remember when you do something like this is safety first, of course, and the main thing is to keep your fingers out of the way of the blades. So it sounds pretty obvious, but I've had some pretty close calls. And the first thing I'm going to do is start in the middle here, and I am going to just start carving. And I'm not applying a lot of pressure. And one thing I wanted to mention right off the bat is, see how I'm turning the carving block instead of moving my tool? It just seems to give a steadier line, and I think it's also a little bit safer. And of course, the fact that this cuts so easily helps also. Okay, so now I'm just going to start going around the perimeter here. One thing to remember when you're carving is once it's taken away, once you carve it away, it's pretty much gone. There's no repair. You can always carve a little bit more, but you can't add it back. So that's one of the drawbacks, I guess, if there are any. That would be one of them. Okay, and I'm just going to follow these lines. Okay, and let's go ahead and do this up here. To just kind of scoop everything out of there, and that's what I'm going to do now, because this is the part that I want to have stamped white. I'm going to leave a little bit of a line there. There. Okay. And so now basically you can do the same thing, just go around the edge. And what I'm doing is kind of focusing on this edge to stay on my carved lines, and I'm going to go back, and that's going to end up being a small space, so I'm just going to go back and do that in a minute. And now I'm just going to take this small one again and go back in here and just get these areas that were a little too small for that larger tool. I have two choices here. I can continue to just carve all this away and end up with a square stamp with the image on it, or I can take an X-Acto blade and go around the image, which I think is what I might do, and just manually cut this part out. Okay, and I'll just kind of smooth out these corners a bit, or these edges. Okay, and now we'll get a stamp pad and we'll test it and see how it looks so far.